let's take a trip back in time on Main Street, USA. Mr. Cheesy Pop. Hey everyone, I heard that beat. Hey everyone, it's Max. Welcome to Main Street, USA. Today we're gonna do something really fun. We're gonna take a step back in time to 1955, and I'm gonna show you 5 things on Main Street, USA that were here way back when this park opened that were just a little odd by today's standards. So, we're gonna head up Main Street and hit a few of these spots that I think you might be like, oh, I could see why they got rid of that. Our first stop, I'm not gonna go in order as we walk up the street because I think our first stop is the one that everyone is always like, wait, there was a shop in Disneyland? Yes, come with me. As we head up Main Street, USA, you're gonna be very familiar with this spot, but what was here on opening day, you're gonna be like, so I think you're all familiar with this porch in Disneyland. Great spot to chill. What you guys know as the Palm Parlor is actually the intimate apparel shop. Yeah, it was also known as Hollywood Maxwell's, which was an actual corset and bra company. I know, it's, even my name is in it, it's bizarre. And in there was the Wizard of Bras. I'm not kidding. This was one of the most short-lived stores in Disneyland's history, but like, yeah, this inside here was a lingerie shop. And on July 17th, 1955, when Disneyland opened, you could come in here and go shop for a bra or a corset or other assorted undergarments that your heart may desire, your heart. The most bizarre thing was that the store had a mannequin called the Wonderful Wizard of Bras. He wasn't quite like an animatronic figure, but it was like a figure, and it gave a history of women's undergarments. The shop also had displays, so you'd walk in and you could see how undergarments evolved over time. So back in the day, this shop was actually kind of a pale yellow color. I don't know, maybe like the door. And it said intimate apparel, brassieres, and torsolettes. I don't really know what a torsolet is. I imagine it's like undergarment that goes over your whole torso. I don't know. Anyway, you could sit up here these days and just chill. But back in the day, yeah, you'd head on into this door back here and you could learn from the wonderful Wizard of Bras. So in there, on one side, they had the fashions of the 1890s undergarments. And then it took you through the fashions of today, 1955 undergarments. Imagine we had one of those today. Undergarments have come a long way. So back in 1955, Disneyland actually had their own newspaper. And this is what it said in there. Is the modern male embarrassed about walking into a corseteria? Corseteria. No, he isn't. Or at least not as shocked as his father would have been. According to the Hollywood Maxwell Company, operators of a corset and bra shop on Disneyland's Main Street. It really, really existed. It is hard to believe that you could come in here and buy a bra, but you could. So I gotta read the rest of this article for you. So it said, surprising as it is to some, it's the teenagers who are most affected by the exhibit of old and new corsets, bras, and petticoats. The younger set's reaction is usually one of giggles as they look at the small models in various stages of dress. So nothing has changed. Teenagers are still giggling about underwear. Something bizarre when I was looking stuff up for this, it said through a system of looking glasses in the corseteria, the visitor could slowly turn their head and see the model switching from an evening dress into a bra and petticoat. Did these models undress in front of us? I have many questions. Was that the technology? I would slowly turn my head and the animatronic or whatever it was would slowly undress. This sounds like just the thing you'd want your children to see in Disneyland. I mean, but you know what? I think what they should do, open this thing up again, sell some, like Disney underwear. Why not? As like a tribute to the past. What's the big deal? It's underwear. We all wear it. Doesn't have to be like risque underwear or anything, but you know what I mean? Let's switch from underwear to cigarettes. So we're gonna head back towards the exit on the same side of the street on Main Street, and we are going to head to the tobacco shop. there's still a relic from it. We're gonna make our way over to him right now. Oh yeah, our famous cigar store Indian. So looking from right here, this is where the tobacco shop was. It was these two stores actually. So the music company and this one, which is just this is not an actual store. So the tobacco shop opened in Disneyland on opening day, and right back here, you could get cigarettes, cigars, pipes, you name it. Imagine what they would sell now. This shop was actually open till 1991. So unlike the bra store, which closed in 1956, less than a year after it opened, this one was open for years and years and years and years. It's kind of hard to believe that you could buy cigarettes for that long. So obviously you can't smoke any longer here in the parks, but back then you could. You just couldn't smoke in the queues and on the attractions. They had ashtrays at the entrance of every attraction. What do you think about that, buddy? Times have changed. So we're on this side of the street of the tobacco shop, and we're gonna head just towards the castle again now. On the other side of the street, towards Carnation Cafe. This was the Upjohn Pharmacy. So here's the Carnation Cafe, and then right over here where they sell all the jewelry now, this was Upjohn Pharmacy. So Upjohn Pharmacy was another place that was open on opening day, but it was not an actual working pharmacy. It was more or less a store that paid tribute to the turn of the century, and you could go in here and see what a 19th century pharmacy looked like. So you have to think of it more like an exhibit. They didn't sell anything. They actually gave away postcards and vitamins for free. You know how much money they make on postcards now? And can you really imagine handing out vitamins at Disneyland? Like what? They actually had two real pharmacists in there answering questions that you had about medicine. So if you did have medicinal questions, there were real life pharmacists there. So Upjohn Pharmacy lasted until 1970. If you want to learn more about Upjohn Pharmacy, University of Arizona has a pharmacy museum, and they actually have a lot of the artifacts from Upjohn Pharmacy on display there. I might have to go check that out one day. Anyone ever seen it? Now, we're gonna go right across the street to Market House, which is of course Starbucks now. But back in the day, on opening day, this was Swift's Market House. Swift? So Swift's Market House, of course not for Taylor, but for Swift and Company, which was a meat packing company. So yeah, you could literally buy meat. Like a butcher was here at Starbucks. They had meats, cheeses, grocery items. It was like an actual store. You want ham? Swift's. You want bacon? Sure. I would have loved to have seen a butcher just cutting meat in the middle of like Mickey being like, what? It's so bizarre to think like Disneyland had these just strange little like real life Main Street stores, because now it's not really like that. It obviously looks like a Main Street USA, but when it first opened, it really resembled an actual Main Street. So if you come on in here, they actually have kept this from back in the day. The party line telephone, where you could pick up the receiver and you could listen to these conversations on these party lines. And I always say, if you come in here to Starbucks, like, do this. It's such a throwback. Just like they were showing you the undergarments from the 1890s to today, they were showing you some 1890s conversations in here. So Swift's Market House lasted until 1970, just like Upjohn Pharmacy. We got one more stop to make on our blast from the past tour of Main Street USA. We're gonna head back towards the exit. All right, as we make our way out of Disneyland, we're gonna head towards the left, and we're gonna come upon Disney Showcase. So this store used to be Wurlitzer Music Hall. In here, you could literally buy a piano. So here at the Wurlitzer Music Hall, you could go in, and it was a showroom that showed pianos and organs, and you didn't like walk out of Disneyland with a piano. You basically would like talk to a cast member, and then you could talk about, you know, I would like to purchase this in the future. But yeah, imagine this place just filled with pianos. Yeah, that's what was going on until 1968. Everything you could possibly need at Disneyland. So there you go. A little look at some of the history of Main Street. And as you know, we come up on the 70th anniversary here of this magical place. I think it's fun to take a look back. So if you have any interest in seeing more of these kinds of videos, you let me know in the comments below. Put yourself back in 1955. What would have been your purchase? A bra? A cigar? A piano? Some meat? Or some free vitamins? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, guys. Like, subscribe. Check out my Patreon page. Have a magical day, everybody. Bye.